watch me while I sleep. Don't require your belief. Offering silence but no relief. Can you scream without a sound? Like the freeze that's coming down. Barren space where nothing grows. A secret place where no one goes.
Chaos Springs Eternal is a Delta Green actual play. Delta Green by its nature deals with violent themes, disturbing imagery, and horrors beyond our comprehension. Now, if you wouldn't mind comprehending some horrors with us, I think you'll have a good time.
Can you feel me in the fall? Pull me from this epilogue. My hands are frozen in the snow. The eyes of corpses have no glow. Made these chains just for myself. Rambling about my mental health. Demons on this hazy hill. Only my soul is left to kill.
Welcome back to Chaos Springs Eternal, Season 1, City of Woe. This is a downtime episode. Do you want to do a woe?
Oh, you know what? You haven't really got to do those too much. I'll let you do it, Dan.
Oh, whoa! Yeah, that's fun. I get why Noah does it.
Dude, it's so satisfying.
You got to have that like one thing that you do, and then you forget about it for like 3 episodes. There's like 3 episodes in there where we definitely forgot about it at least.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's all right. If I was more professional, I'd have like a script or something that I read off of.
We'd have this all scripted out beforehand, even so we know what would happen in the episodes and we could, act accordingly.
Yeah. I keep trying to script out the ending, but I just never I have the intro all built in its own audio file that I just tossed in at the beginning. But the ending I either copy from the week before, or I record it there, and I just need to record like a generic ending. You rolled your stats, right?
Yes, I did. Go ahead and click that goofy little button that says advance between missions.
Did you get anything good? Anything you want to share?
Yeah, I think I already mentioned it a little bit outside of recording. But my persuade went up a whole 4. So I'm at 74 now, so just below Cyril's just smooth talking nature that he is. Streetwise went up by 4 as well. My human went up. Search huge right now as well. And my firearms have finally cracked over 30.
Oh, nice.
So there's like a third of a chance I might actually hit something now.
They call that the 1911.
Yeah, it's like 50-50 on that one.
That's right.
Let's be real here.
I just have firepower. You just kind of need to be in the right direction.
Yeah. If you listen to what people above the age of 55 say, just pointing it in their direction makes them explode. So
yeah. Oh, good times. Good times. Okay, I did a little recap for. I don't want to recap it, every single downtime, but how you feeling about everything that happened from our group downtime?
From the group downtime, I thought it was great. I really liked. I like where this is going. I think Joel is the most anxious he's ever been in his life, though. I don't think Joel's having a good time at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had it pretty rough.
We all had a little rough, honestly. But I think he very specifically, he's worried how many other people are under a gauge now.
Yeah.
I think that's the first thing that comes to mind. And then the other thing is, I know you mentioned it, but Joel wouldn't have seen it. The gold that came out of Goldsmith.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see where that goes. Joel has no idea of its existence at all. So
yeah. And Cyril didn't mention it to anybody. So
yeah. And if there's one person I don't want to have it in this group, it's Cyril.
Yeah.
But you know who I do want to have it in our group? It's Mark. He's going to do something fun with it.
He could, huh?
He could.
Yeah. So. All right.
Yeah, I also think, although it was a great arc, that arc went by quick. We kind of speed ran it. It felt like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many episodes it was, but it was sort of designed to be a little more. Well, I think I told y'all, like, it could have gone longer.
Oh, absolutely. I expected it to go way longer.
I really thought that you guys would kind of wait for people to come in, and I really didn't expect you to send out the text. The text kind of forced my hand, right? That text kind of was like, okay, we're, you did the boss skip. All right, we're going straight into it.
Yeah, we backward long jumped into that boss fight. Yeah, I just think what was going on, we just needed to speed it up. Like we had to get it on our terms, our time, not his. So, very interesting though. I'm very curious to see how the outside world, if it ever finds out about it, deals with that.
Well, yeah, it's kind of fun. I mean, no spoil, no, we haven't recorded obviously, but we've got it on the books to play. But that might be a little bit of what the next Chaos Sprung Leak deals with. Mm-hmm. So.
I had an idea. And I didn't want to say it out loud, but man, I'm excited for that.
It's going to be fun. It'll be interesting to juggle some of these things. I reserve the right to retcon a little bit here and there, just because not running two things simultaneously that might I might try and have them happen simultaneously. Might be crazy.
Oh, absolutely. Especially with the normal group, we're a bag of just chaos. So we will inevitably fuck something up that will ruin the Sprung a Leak arc. So
yeah. So going into this downtime, did we ever figure out what day it was? I think we said it was Tuesday night.
I think we said Tuesday last time.
So we're going into Wednesday morning that y'all are coming back into town. Okay, that's that. So this is going to cover Wednesday morning until Friday night is this downtime. So we've rolled. You can take 4 nights of rest. I don't know if you have any hit point or willpower stuff that needs to regenerate. And then I don't know, I didn't specifically discuss with Cyril anything, but I think I gave him some sanity back. But if there's something that you do in downtime that's kind of like, this is how I'm regaining my sanity, just be like, this is that. And, and whether it's, hey, I indulge my vice, or, hey, I, meditate, or whatever it might be, we can talk about how much you get back, all that sort of stuff. But tell me let's go to Wednesday morning. Y'all have pulled back into town. Joel, as I recall, is very drunk, and has seen, what did Kian left some stuff out, right? And there was the bowl with blood in it.
Yeah. So, I think you made the half-eaten Pop-Tart joke joke again. And yeah, the bowl with blood, and Joel walked into his house, just stumbled in and closing the door, realizing that he still has the handgun in his hand, and just slides it onto an end table they have kind of by the front door where they put hats or keys or whatever, and just groggily walks over to the lazy boy that's in the living room as well, and just rips that handle and passes out, just fully anticipating the worst hangover of his life the next morning, or in at least a couple hours.
Yeah. Roll. Okay. Let's just start with a little roll 1d6 plus 5.
A d6 plus 5.
Yeah. Let's see if this is funny or interesting. If you roll a 1, that's going to be oh, okay.
A 3, 8.
Okay, perfect. So Joel gets a perfect 8 hours of sleep.
Dude, I wish that were me.
I mean, so you wake up at like what, 2 p.m, and you are, you are rough. You have several texts from Kian and Sammy that are just like, hey man, like the shop's closed. Kian's like, Kian also texts the shop's closed, but he says, I stepped out so not to wake you up. And that's the vibe you get around 2.
All right. Yeah, I think he checks that out. Just sends both of them just like a quick like, all right, cool. Thanks for the heads up. Sorry, I wasn't responding. Yesterday was rough. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, and you might have like a little bit of a conversation here and there, but it is sparse and not like tense or terse, but it's just everyone's using pretty short 3-word responses type of thing. Maybe a thumbs up.
Everyone's going through it. I think although Joel got the full 8 hours, I think he was having like terrible alcohol nightmares. I know you. It's not a good
8 hours.
Yeah, I know you've said you do not partake too much in real life.
Yeah,
but
not at all. In fact,
yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I forgot. Noah's one who doesn't do it much. You are not at all. The nights where I've had like heavy drinking, I have terrible like fucked up nightmares, and I think compounding on the day they had prior, I think he like is like sweaty.
Oh gosh,
beyond just like the hangover. And he kind of wakes up, finally gets out of bed or out of the chair, and makes himself a cup of coffee and like stews on it as he's just like staring at his reflection in the cup, like in the top of the water, or the coffee, and realizes how much like shit he looks like now, because every time he's scrying, he's not looked at himself, he's been looking through it,
Yeah.
And I think this is the first time he's like come to realize that like, oh, like he has a little more than like a short beard. Like it's starting to get out of hand a little bit. And he's like, I probably should get that haircut at this point now, and just needs cleaned up. But before he can kind of like do anything about that, he is immediately like hit with the vision of the goldsmith Alzus, whatever you want to say, that face with the bullet hole in the forehead and like the blown out back of the head, still talking and looking directly at him.
Yeah. And just remembering that he just sort of stood there and sat there really and blinked it off almost.
Yeah. Just the nonchalantness of it. And like the fact that it's just like oh, damn. All right, well, I'll see you later kind of a vibe. At least that's how Joel interpreted it. And I think he will drive out back to the manor and just check the fire pit. Goes back, grabs the gun again off that nightstand if it's there still.
Okay. All right. It's a rough drive. Every bump is just that much more painful.
Mm-hmm.
And as you head back out, you pull up and you're just searching the fire pit.
Yeah, he just goes up to the fire pit, and I assume like there's still the ash left in there.
Give me a search roll.
Just a quick search roll. All right.
Or give me a bone investigation.
I don't think I have bone investigation as a skill.
Well,
but we'll stick with search.
Bones, the TV show rolls?
I don't, unfortunately. I didn't take that art.
What was that one person on Bone? Was it Ducky?
I don't remember Bones enough. I didn't watch that one. I was a house kid.
Oh yeah. I love House. I've watched it like 6 times. It's the best. All right, with a 13 under 64. You see the ash. There's no bones in there. You assume that either they got burned or maybe Glomus did something with them. Last you saw him, he was also pretty sloshed. And y'all had left him. You do see the bottle that you had both been sharing. More you than him, but he partook his fair share. That's still there, as well as the lawn chairs, but the ashes are cold and there's nothing in there.
All right. I think he will go in through the front door of the manor and just call out to him, just like, "Hey, Glomus, coming in, buddy."
So if you're going in through the front door of the manor, you actually don't hear any responses. Just kind of an empty. At this point, I don't know. Does Joel see this as creepy, or is he pretty used to the manor by now?
I don't know. I think he's still creeped out by it, but it's like the way that like you're creeped out by like your grandpa's attic.
Yeah.
Or attic. Like he doesn't like being there necessarily, but he knows at this point it's probably, unfortunately, the safest place he knows.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's that anxiety of like everything that's happened here, but like that weird comfort.
Yeah, I can
at the
see
same
that.
time. But he will head down to the basement where the that hole was where we first met Glomus.
And you head all the way back, and Glomus is crashed out on his in his lab, basically on a little, almost like a cot bed. It's like a military-esque cot bed that he's got just in the corner of his lab, and he is actually snoring loudly and in ghoul form. So he is draped completely over the sides of this, and yeah.
Okay. He'll walk up to him and just like kick, like I picture he has like an arm hanging off onto the ground, and he'll just like kind of kick his wrist a little bit. Just like, "Hey, buddy, wake up."
There's a Joel, hey. How are you holding up?
I want to die.
Yeah, join the club.
Uh-huh. And you don't get drunk as fast as us, huh?
No, I also can't die.
That's so unfortunate, actually.
Yeah.
What'd you do with the bones?
Oh, I've got them back here. Hang on. And he stands up and heads back to sort of this back area, which you've seen him go through a handful of times now when he was building that sort of stuff, and he leads you back into just this little back area, and he's got it set up almost like oh, you know what? I realized you're in the fog of war. We reveal that. There we go. So back in this area, he's got it like laid out on like basically a slab, and he's like, "Yes, I didn't know what all to do with this, but I feel pretty confident after subjecting it to a variety of tests that he's well and truly dead."
I think Joel kind of has like that like sigh of relief, like just a and he kind of begins to feel like shit immediately. Like just the adrenaline kept him awake and alive enough to kind of push off the hangover, but now he like just gets nauseous like immediately. And just like sits down like against the wall, propped up against it. Nothing's happened since we burned him.
No. He says, I did find this, though, which was kind of strange. And he, next to the bones, he pulls up a little piece of, looks like gold. It's just like a little bit of pooled gold. It's gotten almost no like real form. And it's like still covered with some ash. It's not been like cleaned off or anything. And I think you can put it with your search roll. You can put together that it was in the fire. It seems like, and it's just something that y'all didn't notice. So that search roll I kind of banked for being able to tell just a little bit about this gold. And I think, I mean, the other thing is it's gold, but it does remind you of what happened with Sure and the Reverend when he healed him a little bit.
Have you looked into it at all?
No, I have not. But I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. What do you think? What should we do?
I don't know. Glomus, I don't trust much of anything right now. It's all just come crumbling down. And I think like as he's saying it, like his like eyes are starting to get watery, and like the emotions from the last few weeks are like really catching up to him properly.
Yeah, he looks at you and he's like, "Oh, yeah, well, hey, hang on." And he kind of like squints his eyes and takes on a human guise, and he's like, it's probably a little easier to talk like this.
I don't know if it's going to be much easier talking to a wall. You know, we just LaFontaine boys, we don't get to feel much, you know? I don't know, just it's been so bad, Glomus. What am I supposed to think? What am I supposed to do about any of this? I mean, I don't trust anybody that I don't directly know anymore.
That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Trust is important. Having someone you can rely on is important. If you can't find that trust, then, well, you're going to be anchorless. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know exactly what you mean. Before this town, it was Phantom Phinders. Before the Phantom Phinders, it was the band. Before the band, it was Clem. But everybody and everyone and everything, myself included, are just so different. Just none of this seems real. You know, like I know it is, but I've been having just terrible nightmares all night, just seeing Alzis or Goldsmith and just that blank stare and the blood and how much it didn't hurt me to do that. I was told by Cyril that you get numb to it pretty quick and it just turns into what you need to do. But one time's too fast, you know? All right. And he'll kind of, you know, wipe the tears from his eyes. I want to get Clem out of that box.
Yeah.
Like tomorrow.
Okay. We could investigate it. I can't promise. I've looked at what happened, and as far as I can tell, it was, well, I don't have any good answers. I think that it was Well, and he like looks around. It's like, I think it may have been connected to something called the Dreamlands. And Joel, remind me, you had a book about the Dreamlands, did you not?
Yeah, it's one of the ones Luna gave me.
Yes, we've talked about this, huh?
I think it's out in the Z, actually. I haven't got a chance to really look at any of the ones she gave me after the first. Catch me up, please. Like, is that where we go when we're asleep?
It's like, yes, the book about the astral plane. Well, the astral plane is one of the well, on the astral plane are many worlds and realities. One of which is the dream world. And so, yes, it is a place that you can go, but it's also a place that you're almost always in, because it's not some place else. It's all around us. In fact, he like looks around. He's like, one of the things that I wonder with this, the things that make Carrefour special, the Nexus Ethereum itself. I wonder if it is a direct connection to the Dreamlands and everywhere else, potentially on the astral plane, on other planes. I don't know. There's an infinite possibility of realms that we could be butting up against here. And so perhaps where part of Clementine is distributed somewhere in the Dreamlands, or perhaps it's a subsection of an astral plane related to the Dreamlands. I don't know. The magic that was done to set this trap, as I've inspected it, is it's quite advanced, Joel, and it suggests to me that whoever made it, it was what it suggests is that Colette may have had contact with someone from the Dreamlands or someone from the astral plane who taught her these things. And if that's true, well, then who knows how strong or powerful that they might be.
I mean, that makes sense. Isn't that like a thing that witches get their power from something beyond the veil, or like a demon or something along those lines? And if she was the head of a coven,
it's very possible, Joel. If that's the case, then who knows what that other plane could be? If it's her, maybe she created it. Maybe she created it to trap enemies in. And the fact that we were able to get Clementine out is a miracle. But do we want to go back there and potentially find ourselves trapped? This is what I'm wrestling with.
Wow. I'm sure as hell not going to let her just stay in there and be some half person out here.
No, I'm not convinced she's a half person, but I think Joel, follow me here. I think it's safer to try and fish her out than to try and have you been to Oklahoma?
No, I can't say I have.
Have you ever heard of a technique for fishing for catfish called noodling?
I'm from Louisiana. Yeah, I've heard of fucking noodling. Yes.
Okay. Well, noodling. So I'm worried what you're proposing is noodling, and what I'm trying to do is get us to deep sea fish.
Use something other than us as the bait.
Yes. Or I mean, really, just drag her out of there instead of going in and bringing her back.
Okay. How do you propose we do that then?
And he smiles and he says, I've actually been working on that. I sent a letter to some friends that I have in New Orleans. I've told you that school plans are old and occasionally cold to each other, but I reached out to the DeBardi clan. They are based out of New Orleans, a couple other clans, and I have a contact there who has some experience with the Dreamlands and general planar travel, and I have informed him of some of the events and occurrences, and I have sought his consultation. So I expect to hear back from him, well, hopefully soon. It's, the Ghoul Network it travels at its own pace. But Joel, can you trust that I am working on it, and I will once we have anything, I promise we will bring you in to help.
I think he kind of, squeezes the bridge of his nose. Yeah, I trust you. Actually, no, I don't. I don't, because we've just learned that the only other person that's been helping us is under the same spell as us from you.
It's like,
you are a
Luna,
secretive man, okay? And I know this is just that little voice in the back of my head. But how many other people are under this?
He's like thinks, and he's like, well, there's you all, Luna, and he like counts on his hand. He's like, no, there's 3 more who know for sure, and I think they're, well, I don't know how they are, but they know. Matilda Green, she's the mayor's secretary. She knows me. Joel, this is gonna be strange, but Sammy, your boss.
Sorry, God, I wasn't expecting that one. Go ahead.
The mortician at the morgue. Let me come up with a good name. Kevin.
We go with a good name. Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant. No,
James.
Kevin James.
He's just sitting there, just like we approach him, just like does a little shrug. Yeah, I know about Glomus.
Let's see. Kevin Crofton. Hang on, making a new note. Kevin Crofton. He is a mortician who works at the morgue. Yeah, and he's like, Sammy only knows me because I had to seek him out for helping me out with some fabricating work. And he points to like some of his equipment, and he's like, he asked a lot of questions about what I was doing, and I have some dirt on him, and so it was more of a mutual gauge, if you think about it, but like with magic reinforcement. So,
okay. So just 2 people that we've had many encounters, 3 people, including Luna, we've had many encounters with.
Yeah, but I mean, think about it. In all your time talking with them, how many times has the concept of me needed to be brought up?
None, and that's kind of the scary part. I hope you realize this.
Yeah, I don't see what's scary about it, because you understand that this is driven out of self-preservation. Like ghouls, we actually have a long history of when people find out that we exist, they usually run us out or try and kill us. And again, it's very technically I could die, but it takes a real long time, and I would hurt the entire time as they're trying to kill me. So I prefer to just not deal with that.
I get it. It's a lot to learn that your hometown is downtown New York from Ghostbusters 2.
I suppose I could see it, that concern. Yes.
Well, I guess if that's all who you have, any chance you can get Sammy to give me a raise again?
Joel, look at me. You and I both know your quality of work.
Which is why I'm coming to you.
Yeah. Well, let's try and conquer the Dreamlands first, and
All right,
then
that's
we'll
fair.
work on getting you a raise.
Dreamlands, then the pipe dreams. Understood.
Yes,
Okay.
one of those seems much more doable.
All right. Yeah. Fine. Yeah. We'll start with the train station that is Carrefour to all the different destinations in the outer worlds. Should we? I don't know. I mean, not that I don't trust you and that your magic's weak or anything, but isn't 2 or 3 wizards usually better than 1?
Yeah, like I said, once I get the response back, I can begin talking with my contact and even potentially bring them here to and we 3 could work it, and perhaps even involve Marcy and Cyril if they are amenable.
That's true. I was thinking if Clementine is in her air quotes book circle, that might, I don't know, she might know something else that we can use as bait on the proverbial fish hook. And also, if this was made by Colette, maybe that coven that she's in has something written down or spoken between them, you know?
That's always possible. I don't have a problem bringing in Luna. I would caution against bringing in Colette. Bringing in Clementine. I would caution against bringing in Clementine. Because there's no telling what sort of existential crisis she might have if we revealed the full extent of what might be happening to her.
Of course. No, of course. I wasn't saying we should bring her in. Luna probably knows her better than most anyone else other than me in the town.
Yes, that's a good point.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe she can help us with that and maybe even help you figure out the gold if you can't figure it out through the hangover. I don't know. You said it yourself. She's a very powerful witch.
Yes, no, that's, it's always. Yeah, I think it's wise. But again, I would prefer waiting for my contact before we begin investigating further.
No, of course. No, I mean, you got to know where to start looking before you ask people help.
Yes, that's how I feel. Okay, well, and he looks at the skeleton. He's like, I look how this feels. No, sorry, I feel how this looks.
No, you're right the first time.
Yeah. Oh, hey, it's not that bad. I'm going to go back to sleep. That's okay with you.
Yeah, I think I'm going to sleep off another 8 hours and go home and just try to have a normal life for the next few days.
That sounds like a wonderful plan. And we can leave that there. All right, so that's Wednesday. Anything you want to do Wednesday night, Thursday, Friday, anything that you want to bang out? You don't get, so you, by the way, you guys all get like lots of texts from Detective Marr in the group chat. But I don't think anyone's like really responding to him. Cyril definitely is pointedly not, but he's trying to set something up for Saturday morning. to meet at the diner or have breakfast or anything.
Yeah, I think if it's just something like as simple as like, hey, can we get together Saturday? I don't think Joel is trying to make a conversation out of it. But if he's like, hey, there's an emergency, he'd be like, well, what's wrong? But
he's just, we need to circle up.
Okay. Yeah. Then he'd be like, yeah, I agree. Saturday, we can circle up for sure.
Okay. Yeah. So what else does Joel want to get done?
What else does Joel want to get done? I think Joel is going to remove the plates off of the King Ranch. That's at Cyril's place. And we can discuss this next proper episode where all of us are here. But someone needs to put those under his name or under their name. Especially if we want to keep that as a Phantom Phinders vehicle or just do so, have it for something other than the Z. I
think what you find though, because if you're driving this around, maybe, kind of using it for, I don't know, some quick errands or anything, like you notice that no one's really paying attention to it. King Ranch, it's, a nice truck, but it doesn't exactly stick out in Carrefour. And in fact, it might be like slightly less obvious than your Z. So, and hey, look, I've driven in Louisiana. They're not super picky about registration.
Excellent. Perfect. Yeah, that was my thought as well, is that a bright orange Z with a wing on it is probably a little harder to disguise and get everyone in without having to have someone sit in the back of a Cyclone. The only other thing I think Joel would want to do is, I think he would try to go to therapy. I think he would message the in-town therapist.
Cynthia Wynn.
Cynthia, thank you.
Or Chelsea Wynn. Chelsea.
Yes, Chelsea.
Cynthia Whitehead, Chelsea Wynn.
Yeah. I think you've done that 100 times. And I have agreed with it both times. I think you would message her.
Okay.
And just be like, hey, like, I'm sure you're bogged down with what's going on. And I don't know if it's like a conflict of interest, but I'm hoping to maybe get an appointment or two scheduled for the next few days.
Yeah, she says, actually, I did kind of clear out my calendar and I've just been taking people on, as needed. So, I'm just doing half-hour slots to kind of talk people through, this. And she says, I've got time. It's basically first come, first served, and you shouldn't have to wait more than an hour. People just sort of come and go.
And he'll get that scheduled. And yeah, definitely. I think Joel is definitely not the kind of person that would need, or is like, I don't think he thinks he needs this. But I think just that image, like him killing someone for the first time, I think really has shook him. And just that, like, again, like you mentioned before, that nonchalantness to its own death has like fucked him up, and he just needs to talk over, maybe not necessarily that, but just something else with someone, just to try and get rid of some of this burden.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do, so I'm going to give you that therapy downtime activity to get some sanity back. My question is, how much are you sharing with Chelsea?
how much am I sharing with Chelsea? I think he gauges across the half hour. And I think one of the last things that he brings up is he says, I have something no, that's not what he says. He says, if you had Goldsmith in a room with you, what would you have done?
She, furrows her brow, kind of looks around. She's like, well, I mean, I have what I hope I would have done, right? Like, because of the sort of idea I have of myself as a person, right? I hope that I would be able to express how I really feel without going into any amount of retaliation. And she looks you like dead in the eye, and she's like, but Joel, I'm not even certain he was human. How could anyone do those things? So I have what I think I would like to do, but I have also what I know I probably would have done.
He pauses for that second. Like there is a solid minute of just dead silence. Well, you don't have to worry about any retaliation against him. There's nothing to retaliate against anymore.
Okay. And I think we sort of zoom back as there's an uncomfortable silence, and her face goes from concerned to curious to horrified to curious. It's a range of emotions that play on her face as we zoom back out of this office and see just a handful of people in the waiting room. So go ahead.
Joel, even that like tears him up, because like he's obviously keeping a massive secret from her just with Antoine. And then also I think every part of him wants to just be like, yeah, no, you're right. There's nothing human about that man anymore. But he just has to just be like a quick, like, well, good thing that he's dead, so you don't have to worry about what he was, kind of a thing. And I think he hoped that this would help him more, just saying it to someone else. But I think this has made it worse, like accidentally for him.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and give you, go ahead and roll 1d6.
I got a 5.
Nice. You get 5 points of sanity back. And I'm going to roll 1d6. And Chelsea loses 4 points of sanity. As
you know what?
Comes to terms with the thing that you did.
It's trading,
Yep. And I think that's where we're going to cut it for tonight.
Well, all right. What a fun downtime. What a fun arc that has come to an end. And I'm so excited for whatever comes next, Dan. I'm so excited for Chaos Sprung League, and I am so excited for what comes after. It's going to be interesting. I can't say it's going to be good because obviously I don't know, but I'm working my butt off to make it interesting and engaging. So, all right. Well, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Yeah, just a nice little like, hey guys, thanks for listening to tonight's episode, and we're so glad that you came to blah, 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 all that stuff.
Yeah, all that stuff. It's just
The platitudes, the hit like, subscribe,
yeah,
all that. Thumbs up on Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, thanking people, reminding them, hey, you can send us an email, and if you do, and you've given us a review, then we'll put your NPC idea into Carrefour, which no one's taking me up on yet. My wife keeps telling me that she's going to, but then she never does. So, calling her out right now.
Go.